Now, why is biodiversity important? What does biodiversity tell us about a particular area? Any ideas?
How many bugs live in that one area?
It's got lots of life.
Yeah.
What life?
Basically, biodiversity is the different types of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we were just, by doing a biodiversity survey on all the invertebrates here, we're looking at how many different types of species we've got. So all the information that you've recorded here, we now tally that up with the stuff that the different groups have got, and it gives us a bit of a snapshot of the biodiversity. And by finding out about the biodiversity of the area, that tells us about the health of the ecosystem. One of the reasons why it was important to do one here at Panboola is because 10-15 years ago this was just paddocks. Okay, do you think we would have found the same level of biodiversity here back then?
No.
Why not?
Because there was more places to...
Yep.
There's not
Yeah,
as many trees.
They've rehabilitated this area, so what they've done is they've planted a lot of native species, and like you were saying, that's then created a lot of habitat. So there's been wetlands put in, there's been native species, that creates a whole lot more habitat, so therefore a whole lot more biodiversity, which means it's a healthier area. If we did this same survey, let's just pop down those for a sec. If we did this same survey, but we only found, say, one species of spider and maybe a worm, what would that tell us?
It's not that healthy.
It's not that healthy. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with the ecosystem. Maybe there's chemicals leaching in, or there'd be something wrong. We'd need to investigate further. If we did a survey and found only 1 or 2 species of invertebrates, that would tell us something was wrong. So it's a bit like when you go to the doctor and you get a health check. It's the same sort of thing. What we're doing is a health check on this patch of forest, this patch of bushland here, to tell us how healthy it is. And you've added to that. The information you've collected will go towards filling in that picture.
But there's not many around now, but there are a few, and they're kind of hidden. So they're right from the tops of the trees, they're flying around in the air, and they're down on the grass, they're under the soil. So if you want to know about those insects and sample them and collect them, then you can just look for them and catch the ones that you can see. That's one way of doing it. It's the old traditional way where you just walk around with a net. Okay, you'll get a few of them that way, but a lot of them you won't see. So we use other methods like the one I mentioned, where we put a tray down and we hit the branches. We can put traps up, we can put a light up at night and insects get attracted to it, moths and beetles and all sorts of things. We can dig under the leaf litter and scoop some out and put it somewhere, or put it in some sort of machine that dries it out, and the insects don't like the dryness and they go down and they fall out the bottom into a container. Shelter under
Yeah, I was
bark.
going to say it'd be quite snug under there, wouldn't it? Oh, look.
Spider. Baby one, the same thing.
Cool.
Seems very quiet.
Slater. Look, it's baby slater.
Yes, baby slater. Yes. Usually you find quite a variety of. There's another hopper there.
Hopper.
You find a variety of things in here.
Oh, something
That's
flapping.
another hopper, I think.
What was that?
Yeah, they always try and hide under the nearest
Little bit,
object.
so there should be more for them.
Yes.
Oh, they did start.
Oh, yeah, there's
doing
one.
those.
Looking like a hopper. Yeah, there's a little hopper.
Is that one?
That's a little case. Looks like a little bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually made by the grub of a leaf beetle that lives in the. You may or may not be inside there.
I think he might be.
Might be, yeah.
Cool.
And they're really funny. They have a head that blocks the opening of the tube, and they just cart that round.
There's something in there.
Yeah.
They put their head there.
Yeah, the top of their head is just like a plug, really hard plug. So they use it to close off the opening.
Wow.
And it's almost impregnable.
Wow.
And do they get out of that?
Yeah, they walk around and they carry it on their. They just poke their head out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen in streams there are these little things called caddisflies, and they have the same sort of principle. They cart around in their case, which they make themselves.
Out of bits of bark.
Yeah, in this case it's made out of its own poo actually, but it's a bit horrible but anyway. Caddisfly uses bits of sand or bits of twig or something, and they have very soft bodies, so that protects their body, and they can just go inside it. As soon as they see some sort of threat, they go inside, and these do too. And so they just wander around in the leaf litter and they eat dead leaves, dead gum leaves.
Alright, that's cool.
Not very nutritious, so it probably takes them a long time to, but they've got the whole year.
They live for a year?
Probably, I would
Yeah.
think even the small ones,
Yeah.
when you have food sources like that are not, and also the environment's quite a lot cooler than the open air environment, so they develop fairly slowly.
So they're part of the decomposing thing?
Yes, definitely.
Just
Yeah.
eating, cleaning and...
One of the many things that decomposes the leaves.
Thing there? That little white thing?
Didn't see that one. Oh, that one, yes.
They were in the cave.
That is a springtail.
Because do you remember
Springtail's
they
a
were
kind of
in the
insect
cave?
and it has a little spring under its bottom. And it can leap. That's another decomposer. And these leaf beetles, then they'll, after it's finished feeding, it'll change into the pupa stage, and then from out of that will become a beetle, which will walk up into the canopy and eat leaves of trees and mate, and probably only live a few weeks or a month or so. And
Cool.
So it only eats one.
eats.
How many? Does it eat a lot?
Not very much. Just eat little tiny holes in the leaves. Yeah. And the leaf litter fauna here part of the reason we're not finding much is because it's the time of the year. Some of the things will have gone down deeper. But another reason is that this used to be farmland, and this is revegetation that's not very old, probably maybe, I don't know to guess, maybe 10 years. So it's not as you don't have the variety of creatures that you would find in natural bushland, where you have a much more complete range of plants on the ground, all sorts of native plants. So if we were, for example, to go up in the bush, we can see on the hillsides around here, we'd find lots of things in there. So this is only just recovering here, so not a huge variety.
Is that one there or?
That's a little
There.
spider, yeah.
And a little...
That's
A spider. See a little spider.
weevil.
Big spider.
Little
Big
spider, yeah.
spider, tiny spider.
Oh, and is this
Couple
another
of
parasitic wasp?
That is, yes. Very good. There's a little weevil. Weevil is a kind of beetle with a beak on the front of his head, so you can see it.
What's that red thing?
That's a mite.
And this little tiny thing here.
Oh, that's tiny. Oh, I don't even know what that is.
There's
There's
something
more for me.
with wings. It might be dead.
That one's a bit stunned, yes.
Bit still.
Looks like some kind of gnat, actually. Yeah.
Okay, the spider attack.
Oh, the parasitic wasp there. Oh, that one along there.
The spider is looking
Big spider. Weevil's got to the other end of the tray by now. There's a little beetle there too.
Cool, I love the red of
Is that velvet mite or?
velvet mite.
I don't know.
Yes, velvet mite, red velvet mite, very young one. Yeah. They're predators.